Hello friends again, this is Jeff with Ability Lock and Key. I've been called out to make a key to this Buick Encore. I see a lot of guys that do these videos open the door and look for the manufacturer date on the tag. That's not always the correct date. We count back 8 spaces from the VIN here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's a E. B, C, D, E is a 2014. So this is a 2014 Buick Encore. Let's get started. Okay, I'm inside the Buick Encore. I'm gonna pick the ignition and see how that turns out using the lead sheet to do that. So let's get started on that.
Okay. You must have done something right.
All right, we got it picked. Now we're decoding it and seeing what kind of numbers we come up with here. That's a 4, and that's a 3. All right, let's go check these numbers. Okay, punch these numbers in and I've come up with a valid code. I've got a key loaded and a wasp that wants to play games here. Go on now. Okay, we will tap on this and we'll start. I already have the key loaded and we'll start cutting the key. Okay, I got our test key here. We're going to stick it in the door lock. And it wants to turn one way but not the other way. Interesting. Okay, I'm back at the car. Had a few problems. The key cuts that we decoded were just off slightly, but they would turn in the ignition and it would turn in the door lock one way but not the other way. So I knew I had the wrong cuts. So the fact that I could turn the ignition, I went ahead and turned it. I just popped this cover off, pops off real easy, hit the retainer, pulled it out, and was able to get the right cuts and come up with another valid key code. So I've cut that key now. I just went ahead and cut it on a transponder blank. Once you have the lockout in your hand, you don't necessarily have to test it because the numbers are stamped on each wafer. So I decoded it that way. Now we're going to program it. Okay, we pulled out the IM508. Should have checked it earlier. I think we had a voltage problem. Because we went through the process and it said matching failure. I checked the key, ran through that scenario. So here we are again, gonna have to go 12 more minutes. Bummer, but the life of a locksmith sometimes is good, sometimes it's not. All right, let's go to automatic selection, see if it'll read the VIN.
Better. The mic can see that.
Yes, it did.
Cool.
Okay. Oh, now, yeah, okay. Yeah, I tried to roll down the passenger window, it wouldn't go down. That's when I decided I might ought to check the, okay, once again, number of keys. Ignition's already turned on, it says 3. Okay, let's do all keys lost. Ensure driver's door is closed. You want to continue? Yes. Okay. Oops, I want to put in my own number, 3282. Okay, enter. Okay. We'll hit OK again. Now we're going to go through the 12-minute wait. We'll pause the video and get right back to you. Okay, we've reached the end of our 12-minute wait. Actually, it went a little less than that. Now it's going to walk us through some more little procedures here as we go. Switch the ignition off and remove the key. Open and close the driver's door. Hit OK. Configuring the system. It says please wait 45 seconds.
What are we going to do for 45 seconds?
Yeah, it takes, I think this is the longest one. Other than the 12 minutes to get to this point.
Right.
Everything else is going to be ignition on, ignition off.
At least we got a little bar showing us that it's going by. And how much longer we have to wait, etc. Dang, it feels like forever.
It's because it is.
Okay. Boom.
Switch ignition on. Do you want to program more keys? No, we do not. I see the security light went out. I hope that's a good sign. Open and close the driver's door again. Okay. Number of match keys, 1. So we went from 3 to 1, so we know it took. Matching complete, we'll hit OK. Now it's exiting the system. All right, we'll turn that off. Unplug our programmer, and then we will start the vehicle. And it runs, praise the Lord. Remember, you can't change the past, so live for today and plan for tomorrow.